Good morning. Travis, you in here? I got him in the cooler here. We're going to cut him up. Mississippi Adventures, Mom and Sons. I told Tammy not to come in. She's not going to want to see this. Hope everybody's having a good morning. Today is the kids' last day of school, so they just got on the bus, and they get done in like an hour and a half, 2 hours. It's kind of dumb. So they'll be home soon. So no normal live. Hey, Dom, good morning. So I figured, Ev, welcome in. Figured I'd pop up and get these trout filleted. If you missed last night's live, we got the big one on the timestamp on. Randy, are you locked in? What's going on, bro? Good to see you, buddy. We got the timestamps on there. The monsters timestamped on there. Buddy Biggs, what's up? What's up? Denise, country girl. You guys are all flying in here. Bo Dog, welcome. So it's going to be a real quick live. I've got 5 smaller trout that Kev caught, and I got the one monster that I caught. And just going to fillet them. If you got questions on filleting, let me know. We're going to do boneless, skinless, unless somebody really wants to see a different style of filleting. That's what we're going to do. But I'm going to start just by sharpening my knife. It's like a 7-inch fillet knife. Always want to make sure it's sharp from here all the way to the tip. So make sure you're staying on the sharpener. TMB, good morning, good morning. So yeah, I might go out fishing with Kev today. I do work tonight. So tomorrow night, I did post up the live. We're going to be back in the city, public live for flathead catfish. Not going to want to miss that. We're going to be able to stay out later, and we should be able to get on some big fish. Justin Hill, good morning. Let me get you wrenched up. I think I just saw you over on Lens. But yeah, tomorrow night we're heading down the city while Japan's in. Yeah, we're going to go after flatheads, and we got plenty of good bait, so it's just the beginning of the summer. Kids are done today, and that's going to give us so much more freedom. I'm picking up 2 kayaks tomorrow, so we're going to be kayak fishing a lot this summer as well. Yeah, just finishing this knife off here, taking out any burrs, and we'll be ready to cut. I have this little thing right here. Once I fillet the fish, I throw the fillets in there. There's some ice cubes and it drains out. It's actually made for like corn or asparagus, but it works pretty good for this purpose too. I like to keep the meat from start to finish ice cold. So last night it's in a cooler covered in ice. It's weird not to see you fishing. Yeah, we do a lot of filleting here on this channel. We try to take things from the water in the field all the way to the table. So that's kind of what this channel is about. It's not just fishing. It's catching, hunting, preserving the food, and recipes. We even cook the food live. I'll give you a quick tour around just because yesterday I just did this project right here. So my back is a little sore if I look weird, but not a lot, small project, but just got that done, dug it out, all free material, which is the hard part, but yeah, we got that done. This is the backyard. We got the bird feeders up for the member porch lives now. We got a lot of activity out here, and the chickens down there doing their chicken stuff. Cactus garden, strawberries, herb garden. You know the deal. That's how we roll here. Our little castle. Our little 100-year-old castle that's falling apart. Constant problems. All right, let's get, what do you want to start with, the big one or the little one? Let's start with the big one. Maybe I'll show you a little one. Salt life in 2 days. How are you gonna cook them? Like the big one, the big trout, we're gonna do trout parmesan. It's a recipe on our playlist we've made many times. The little ones, we're gonna put them in the freezer for now. I like boneless, skinless because there's like 100. We have like probably 20 different recipes on the playlist. We'll probably do one of those, or we'll do something different. Okay. So this is a normal size trout, okay? That's a normal size trout right there. This is what I caught last night. Put them in there. So that's the one I caught, 22 inches. It's like a salmon. So, bam. We'll start with the big one with my knife. My knife is nice and sharp. Get the ice out of his mouth. All right. We'll try this view. We'll see how this view works here. Okay. These are stocked trout, and at this time of year, they are not going to live long where they are. Thank you. I appreciate that, buddy. Yeah, that's Chip right there with the $2. Oh no, Tammy, I warned you, we're going to be cutting here. Yeah, do you think the meat will be orange? It's a good looking fish. I don't know. It's going to have some eggs, I know that. So if you're looking at the fillet, I don't know if you can see that or not. Right up here, there's a lot of meat right here people miss. So you want to start that cut on this angle, and you actually want the knife so it's cutting towards the head so it can get all of that meat. So that's going to be the first cut. Just down like that. All the way down to the backbone. Like that. On a big trout like this, I'm actually going to come under here. And I'm going to run the belly meat like this. Hopefully you can see that. Right by that fin. And then I'm going to go down towards the vent. We'll call it the vent here. Just like that. Okay? Now you could come in and do this cut here. I just don't think it's necessary with a trout. So I'm going to come down. I'm going to find the backbone. This is a rainbow trout. And I'm going to turn it. And I'm just going to ride the backbone all the way down. You're going to see a lot of blood, a lot of eggs. It's just your warning. But going to come all the way there. I'm going to stop right here. Shift the fish down. Nope, it's white meat, not red. And flip it just like that. Okay? So now I'm going to come back and I'm going to get the skin off the back side of this. We got the skin, right? So the body, the carcass is going to actually hold this in place. That's why I don't cut it all the way through. Come back to about here on a slant. And you're just going to let the knife blade slide along the table, separating the meat from the skin. I'm actually bending my knife just a tiny bit here, just so it conforms to the shape. And if you do it right, you should have no meat on the skin when you're done. And you should have a nice skinless fillet like that, okay? We still have to take the ribs out, and we got pin bones. That's the next thing. Oh yeah, a lot of meat, yep. It's a $30 fish. You buy something like this in the store, you're spending 30 bucks at least. Okay, I'm gonna come with the ribs. You're gonna feel them and see them. You just wanna cut underneath them all, find them. Once you get under them, you wanna take your knife and twist it up. And cut towards the ribs. And let the knife, you can see the knife blade right through there. Let the knife ride down those bones. Chicken fight. Chicken jockey. Okay, nice. Clean off the edge a little bit. If you miss any ribs, here's a nice little trick. Use the table edge or a 2x4 to get a better angle on them. And take them off just like that. You can see them, you can feel them if you miss any. Clean that up. You'll get a little cartilage right here. That's the, I think it's called the anal fin. Just, you don't want that looking ugly. Just take that right off like that. Okay. So this is the step everybody gets worried about, and they say, oh, there's a bunch of bones in my fish. It's these guys right here. These are the pin bones. Kevin's in school, Bodog, last day. Even though they graduated yesterday, they had to go to school for 2 hours. Silly. All right. So pin bones, you can feel them. Identify them. They're going to come to about right here. Where the tail starts, that's where they end. Yeah, it is silly. So I'm going to put my knife blade right under them. And I'm going to cut straight down. All the way through. To the skin or to the table. We already took the skin off. All right, find the bones again. Make sure your cut's below it, and you're going to cut just above it. I mean, there's other ways to do this, but this is the most simplest form, and I'm trying to make this nice and simple. Okay, I got the cut I want, so now I'm just going to go all the way through. That's the prime turtle food for our house. The turtles will love that. So then we got this. Close that fillet back up like this. That's what you wrap in cellophane and you sell it for $15 a side. So that's the cut right there. We give that a rinse and put it on the ice. Actually, we'll put it right on the ice. We'll give it a final rinse inside. Fold them like that. Get them on ice. Done. Now we got the other half. See if there's any questions. I'm gonna have to come up to PA. I think my fishing. You're always welcome up here, Chip. I mean, the fishing's tough this time of year. It's pretty much over for trout. That's why we're harvesting as many as we are. They're gonna die in these creeks. They're usually dead and gone by now, to be honest with you. But this spring has been so cold and wet. It's been great for the trout, but still. This probably would be a pound or two heavier in the right conditions. Bob, that is the strangest looking catfish I've ever seen. This is a Pennsylvania stocked red trout catfish. But hopefully you'll see a big old flathead with this head right here in its mouth soon. We're heading down tomorrow night for some big old catfishing. And I only do this belly cut on the bigger fish. I'm going to do all the little ones in a second, and I don't bother doing this cut. Again, using a 2x4 is helpful to get this edge, especially on the second side of the fillet. A lot of people struggle on the second side. I just use this edge right here to the sink. So again, I'm going to come in here, make sure you don't go through the backbone. You're going to ride it all the way down. A little bit bigger blade would be actually helpful here, but we'll make it work. I should go inside and get the bigger one. Go. You know what, let's get that out of there. I don't want this fin on it here. When they're big like this, that fin's going to come up, but I'll deal with it. I think I'll deal with it. Okay, got to use the whole table here. There we go. Pretty good, pretty good. Not as good as the first side, but pretty good. Let's get this out of here. I want it flat on the table. Down to the other side. Skim it like that. There you go. No meat up there. Nice skinless fillet. Perfect. Take my Len F fishing bucket. This guy's going to the river with us tomorrow. Get the hose, make this more YouTube suitable here. Move my coffee. I don't know why the weeds around this table grow so good, but man, they grow really well here. What's going on in chat? Holy mackerel. We are filleting trout, buddy. Let me get you wrenched up. I've seen you around. Appreciate you coming in. All right, we got the skin off. We got to get the ribs off. Always a missed bone up there. That's the collarbone, technically. Got to come back, get these ribs. A little bit of belly fat. I'm kind of heavy-handed on removing the belly fat because if there are any impurities in the fish, that's where they'll be. And I'm going to just clean that edge up like that. All right, now you got the pin bones. Again, right to about there. I don't do one cut straight through usually. I kind of go slow because the knife will slide along the bones. You can hear it. And after you do a couple and you screw up a couple, you'll know when you're screwing up and you can stop and save the fillet. That's the other set of pin bones. So that's your boneless, skinless fillet, second side right there. That's going to be trout parmesan. I'm going to put that on a baking sheet in a couple nights. We'll put basically it's panko breadcrumbs. And then a couple different cheeses on top, and it's amazing. So that's one trout right there. But the rest are going to be tiny, and I'll blow through those. I'm going to go to PA when school is out, and then I'll go pickerel and bass fishing. Awesome pickerel. You want to go up into the Pocono Mountains. Got some pretty good pickerel fishing up there. EV. Let me know when you're coming. I'll put you on some spots that's got a lot of pickerel. Might not be huge ones, but a lot of them. They're a cool fish. All right, let's get to the little guys. Kevin uses this rope stringer, dries me up a wall. Little guys, I don't worry about that belly cut. Just right at the head and right on down. And they're this little, you just flip them right out. People are afraid of filleting little fish. It's so much easier to fillet a little fish. You tell what we were using? Pack bait. Yeah, we're using pack bait for trout. Screw that up. So, have to fix that. I don't like when people drive by my house looking at me. I've had a few visitors. Unless I know you personally, don't come to my house. All right. Ribs, pin bones. It's just a simple calculation. I can get a little bit more meat off, but it's just not worth the time. So you kind of have to keep that in mind when you're filleting these little guys. The limit here is 5 a person, so we'll come home with like 10 fish. So plenty for a couple meals. I could just leave this open. I'll keep it covered. Anyone's got questions, just ask it, and you might have to re-ask it because I might miss it as it goes by. I am looking for bigger fish to catch. Aren't we all, Skeeter? Go to the river, brother. Always on the river. That's where the mondos are. Just gotta wait for them. They're out there. Bear with me. I figure out this stringer. What kind of necklace is this? It's the ugliest necklace I've ever seen. This boy is wild, man. I'm telling you, Kevin rigged up. We've got a video coming soon with a new rig that he's created for trout. And it's deadly. Anytime you catch your limit in June, you're on to something good. He's got this stringer this rig. 2 different ways to rig it up. And it's just, I mean, anyone who saw our live last night saw him in action. Just basically 5 trout and 5 casts. And I'm sitting there like an idiot trying to catch fish. He outfished me big time. Grandparents live up in the Pocono Mountains. Yeah, Lehigh Canal is always a good spot. It's a beautiful place to fish. If you can take a bike with you, you'll be in your glory, man. To carry a fishing rod, a jig, some fake minnows, and just ride that trail system and sight fish. Wait till the sun's high and sight fish them up. You'll catch them all day long. It doesn't help that there's knots in the stringer. But it's raining. You get this done and get back inside. Come on. He's gone. Nope, he's not with us anymore. Karen, welcome in, welcome in. Now you got the biggest. I know, right? I got the biggest one. Meanwhile, I got all these little ones to fillet now because knucklehead. But they're gonna die on that creek anyway. I kind of felt sad for that big one. I wish he was in a better river where he could keep living. But they're gonna die in that nasty little stream. Little pack bait there, Jimmy. Jamie, we're gonna be on the river tomorrow night if you're around. Yeah, Karen, have a good evening. Karen's over in China. She's going off to bed soon. We'll be on the river around our spot somewhere wherever we get a 20-foot of bank. Tomorrow night, Kevin and I will be there probably till about 10. If they're biting, we'll stay. Oops, screwing up here, chatting. I don't know what we'll do with these little ones. Probably mac and cheese. We do a mac and cheese recipe with trout meat. It's pretty good. My neighbor saw the bear, so I'm kind of watching for the bear. We got a bear around here. And if there's one spot where he's going to show up, I've got a barbecue right here. I've got 3 bird feeders and a fillet table. Pretty good chance of seeing this bear. Skeeter, your friends are here. Get your skeeters out of here. I'll be bringing trout heads, Jimmy. Do the basement. Try again tomorrow. Guru or whatever his name was. Good to see you, Glenn. What's going on, brother? Just a quick one today. Just figured I'd pop up, do the fillets. I'm sure there's plenty of people out there fishing to go watch, but if you're interested in watching me fillet fish, hang out. I'll fly through these as quick as I can and get on with my day here. Probably go out and do some bait fishing a little bit later, but got to get cleaned up and go to work so I can cut more fish. Back to this damn stringer. That's what I'm going to make Kevin do. Take all the knots out of this stringer. It's one of those rope ones they use for like crappie, but like he's got knots all over it. because he's an 11-year-old. Stopped in. All right, Swicky, have a good appointment. Yeah, we had a metal one, but legally you have to have two. And couldn't find my other metal stringer last night. So the rope one's good if you're doing crappie where you're going to catch more than like 10 fish. So it is handy, but for trout, it's just a pain in the butt. I mean, look at this little thing. Fish stick. We'll call this guy Fish Stick. I saw Len caught a flathead on the river this morning. He caught like a little 5-pounder, maybe an hour and a half ago. It's kind of rainy here. Good day to pull off a daytime flathead today. That would be perfect channel cat bait, that head right there. I've been icing these guys because we get home at like 8:30 at night from the creek, and I just want to go to bed to get the kids settled in. So I've been putting crushed ice over them, and I find that it firms the meat up. I don't know, unless it's just a coincidence. I think it's actually, let the truck go by. I think it's actually firming the meat up and making the fillet process a lot easier. Because sometimes in June when the water temps go up, the meat's real mushy. You know, it's still on the mushy side. That's just a reality of it. But I think the ice is really helping. And it's nice to, be able to come out here the next day and not be rushing if you're tired, fishing all night and day. I'm enjoying the morning, the routine of coming out and filleting the catch from the night before. But if you're going to do that, you really want to make sure they are covered in ice, like an ice slurry, because you want it like 33 degrees. Hey, Nolan, welcome in. Peacock's in, Fishing Geek, good to see everybody. Oh yeah, the heads are going to the river. That one might be a little too big. What do you think, Nolan? We got a 22-inch last night. Probably take some cheek meat. Just showed up at a spot to target grass carp. Nice. Karshmeek? Does it rhyme with Karshmeek? There's some over there, I hear. I've never caught one, Nolan, so make sure you do a video or tell me how it went, because that's one species I have not targeted, and I do want to get into them. Already time to touch this knife up. Bones. I don't know. I hope somebody finds this helpful. Just like the redundancy of flying. I'm a slow visual learner, so I need to watch something over and over again. So hopefully there's another fellow visual slow learner out there that this is useful for. Otherwise, it's just a wacko cutting fish up, which I'm okay with. Uh-oh, I think I cut through. Nope, I got it. Yep, almost cut through. Look at all that pack bait. Good Lord. Nasty. That's the reality, people. Do it yourself or pay someone else to do it, but you're all killing something if you're living. Give that a wash. Wash some of that reality out of here. Recovering drug addiction, welcome in. Hope you're having a good morning. If you're around here, maybe it's not morning where you are. All right, y'all, drizzle stop onto the pond. Still drizzling here. In fact, it's starting to drizzle a lot harder here. This is just to keep them cold. We're going to give them a final rinse inside. I've got ice in here, a little strainer. Keep them nice and cold. We are on to our last trout, and then we'll go clean them up and vacuum seal them, and we're done. We'll shut her down and send you on your way. Crazy life, what is going on? Dorothy Richardson, good morning, good morning. Casting card. Appreciate y'all coming in. I wish I had a longer live today. Still going to try to find the balance now that the kids are, today's their last day of school. They'll be home in 2 hours. Thank you. That's our gravel right here, Ray. What do you think? I mean, it's just a minor thing. We got, I think, a ton of stone. So, you know how I am, and I know how you are. You got to be barbecuing, even though our piece of crap barbecue, it's my barbecue. That's like my favorite place to be, right there with the Yingling over there. You know, checking out the fillet table, checking out the backyard. And I got tired of the uneven ground. Like, this is how the ground was, just all uneven. So now we got a nice spot to stand. So that's why it's the little things in life, I'm telling you. My coffee's getting rained on. I don't have that problem. My kids actually, my younger son actually provides a lot of meat in our family. 5 out of 6 of these are his. Ooh, boy, it got dark. Looked like the sun just set. Mid-South, mod status not to be an actual moderator, so you can click on the other channels. Yeah, pretty much Mid-South. Yep. In fact, I basically unblock almost everybody every night that gets accidentally blocked from the mods or whatever reason. Because I prefer timeouts, with a few exceptions. And then that way, if they're blocked for life, it's because I did it. Nobody else. It's me. And occasionally I go back in and I unblock some of them too. But there's a few things I don't stand for having kids. So if somebody's blocked, trust me, it's for a good reason. Yeah. I got plenty of people that are welcome to come in here that I personally don't get along with. Because that's just, just the way it is. Not everyone's going to be your best friend. But there's some bad dudes out there. Dudettes too. And they ain't coming in here. That's it. That's it. All filleted. So I'm going to take these guys inside. You can come in with me. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you do block somebody, let me know. Because there's a good chance I'm going to unblock them. I mean, I try to keep up. I think I do a pretty good job compared to the average YouTuber trying to keep up with chat. But, you know, I don't want to cut my hand off while I'm filleting fish. It's possible I missed something. You know what I mean? So we got all this extra ice right here. So I'm going to just put the heads right there. So they'll stay nice and cold. They won't be in my fridge. And I'll take my other knife, which is more for bone crushing. And we'll bag them up, cut the heads off the carcasses, and we'll use them for tomorrow. Yeah, that was 6 fish in total. I also caught a big white sucker last night. I like when it rains. It can clean my fillet vest off here. Good to go there. We'll go inside. Clean that table up in a minute. Whoa. I spilled my fillets. Rick 2324. Yeah, we've been very fortunate this year. We really got on the fish good this year. I was just, you know, looking at our thumbnails going back, and it's just, the fishing hasn't been like insanely entertaining. So it kind of catches me off guard sometimes when I'll stop and I'll take a look at the thumbnails and I'm like, man, almost every day we've caught an exceptional fish. So the hustle's paying off, but it's not easy for sure. All right, so we're going to do some vacuum sealing here. My preferred method. The first thing we do when we're vacuum sealing is we're still going to wash these guys a little bit better. So I like to, you got to wash them and then you got to dry them. That's a step a lot of people miss. You want to pat dry your fish. So I find the cookie sheet like the best way to do it. Grab some paper towels. I mean, I learned all this stuff from, well, a lot of it I already knew, but you know, it's good to know that like what I was doing is exactly what we do at work too. You cut the fish, you pat it dry. Before you wrap it, everything's patted dry, everything's got a diaper on it. You don't want that moisture getting out of control. Okay. Close that for now. Don't worry about my compost back here. I need to invest in a fillet table. The fillet table outside is a game changer for marriage, let me tell you. Total game changer. You guys can see this. While I'm washing, I'm also feeling to make sure I didn't miss any bones, and did a pretty good job on that one. So that's one of the fillets. That guy right there. I'm going to do the big ones first. Again, so these guys, there's ice in here. I'm a big believer. You gotta spend a couple dollars or at least the effort to have ice around for this purpose. You know, that's just fat. Take that right off. On some fish, you want to actually take that dark meat off, like catfish, some of the saltwater fish. Trout, I don't find it matters too much. But when you're filleting the skin, everybody likes to look cool and have like no meat on the skin. But it wouldn't kill you to leave a little bit on there because it would just be that dark meat anyway. Oops. Alrighty. So that's what the fillets look like. I just need to pat them dry here. You don't have to go crazy, but just get any excess moisture off. I got to get a bag for these, figure out what size vacuum sealer bag I want. I am working on a video with the Out of Air. These are the outofair.com bags, and they are awesome bags. Microwavable, you can boil them, you can reuse them. So This should work. You want 3 inches, but I think I'll be able to kind of push them in a little bit. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Trout River Rat, what's going on? Dino, I'm not sure if that's English, not understanding. Khalik, my Turkish friend, what's going on, buddy? Do you freeze your fish in water? It helps. Yeah, I don't like that method. I think this is superior to that. Yeah, because you're expanding the meat. That's like an old school thing. It's kind of, I'm a fishmonger at work. And even in the industry, they used to do a lot of that. But the vacuum sealers these days, personally, I feel like it's superior to the ice method, the ice bath method. These guys, we're eating these tomorrow night. So even though we're vacuum sealing it, we're not actually, it might be a little overkill. We're eating them tomorrow night. Alternate that. Probably should have left the skin on, to be honest with you, now that I think of it. I do like cooking with the skin on in this recipe. Okay. But you do yours, you do you, crazy life. I mean, that's just my experiments, and a lot of times I get bad, that's just the way I do it. I might have just had a bad experience when I tested it out. But I find it like it wastes so much space too when you have big blocks of ice. I mean, our freezer is like packed full, and you see how much fish, and I have them all in like these, I shape them all like this. Like, look how flat they are. Like, that's why I like this method. Look how thin that is. And I just stack them up, and they're just stacked in here. So that's striped bass. That's a striper we caught. They're rainbows. That's a black drum right here. They're nice and flat. You can stack them like pizza. So that's another benefit. Take up a lot less room than having blocks of ice in there. I don't know if my freezer will shut. Oh no, what did I do? Here we go. All right, let's get this guy sealed. It's my favorite part. Yeah, well, some of the recipes we do skin off on, but this one I like the skin on. Oh well. Let me get a marker. I know we're going to eat these tomorrow night, but just in case we don't, I want to label them and date them. You want to label and date before you vacuum seal them because it'll get all crinched up. So, what is it? Like, it is today. So we'll say June. Today's Tuesday. We'll say the 9th they were caught. 25. Rain. Just say bow. Alright. Click it. Set it to moist. Vacuum. That's it. For sure, Jim. Yeah. It gets rid of any, you won't get freezer burn because it's removing all the air out of there. And you can safely keep these for at least a year. We go through it a lot quicker anyway. Hey, main girl, what's going on? Thanks for coming in here. Silly salmon, outdoor fan. Just processing some trout here that we caught last night. We got a 22-inch rainbow, so that's the 22-inch boneless, skinless fillet. He's just getting done sealing here. He's done. What's nice about the vacuum sealer too is you can actually put like spices on there and it'll marinate. It'll pull it in. But see how thin that is? Right in the fridge. Right in the fridge. How bad is my fridge? I don't know if I want to show you this. No, it's not too bad. Right there. He's done. So now we got to do these other guys, all the little mini fillets. For your tray. It's raining hard out there now. I didn't know it was supposed to rain today at all. Yeah, Tyler, thank you. That was a good one. 22-inch rainbow. It's on yesterday's live. We caught it live. It's all on camera. I did my best to record the entire fight with you guys out on the water. Timestamps on, so just go to yesterday's live and you'll see the timestamp. Click on it, and it'll take you right to the hookup and the fight. We're out creek hopping. I do my best to get the whole fight on camera, even if it means we lose a few fish, and we do. But you'll see in there my son telling me to back up, and I'm like, I know that's the right move, but I would have been off screen, so I just stayed where I was, and luckily it worked out on this one. But yeah, we do lose some fish because of that. But I'm really fishing for you guys, not, you know. Fish here every day. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be fishing every day. Rain in PA. What's going on, Jimmy? I can't believe how much rain we're getting this year. Just patting them dry. There was that crazy life that said about putting them in water. I have nightmares of my childhood. My dad used to have like all these ice blocks, and you never knew what was in them. There'd be, you know, like you thaw it out thinking you're gonna have trout, and there'd be like a dove in there. There'd be all kinds of weird stuff. Like a boss, give your mom her phone back, buddy. Let me get a bag for these guys. We'll get these sealed and we're out of here. I think we can get them all in here. We'll just say, these are little ones. Say, 5X, small bows, June 9th, 25. We do try to rotate, so first in, first out. So make sure you label your bags if you're going to be doing what we do. Label your bags, otherwise you just have a lot of unidentified meat in your freezer and you don't know what you're eating. If you're looking for recipes, we have a playlist, fish and wild game playlist. You're going to find about 10 different ways to cook meat like this up. A lot of family-friendly recipes because we got 2 little ones. That's the other reason we take the skin off and the bones off. A lot of times kids don't want that, and if they're eating the fish and they start getting bones, it might turn them off for the rest of their life. You don't know. It might. Hunting Hound, good to see you. Sorry if I'm missing y'all. Just about to wrap this up, and then I'm out of here. I got a few things to take care of. Got to get the car ready. We're picking up kayaks tomorrow from Mr. Ted. He's gifting us some kayaks, which is awesome. We're going to be on the river tomorrow night. We might pop up a lot earlier. I think I set the time for 6 o'clock. We're going to be going for flatheads. Outdoor fan. Be nice, be nice. I'm a bad influence on you. Random thoughts, what's going on? I am a jerk sometimes, I really am. Seal the other one. Before we had the food saver, I've got some videos on how to do another method, which is basically putting them in a Ziploc bag, submersing the bag in a bucket of water, and basically manually squeezing the air out. And I'll tell you, that works really good. Not as good as this, but it works really good and still saves space if you're looking for an alternative to the ice bath method. I don't even know what I said. Main girl, one thing you got to know about me is I've got zero memory. As soon as I say something, I already forgot what I said. So I'm glad it was smart, but I'll never say it again because I don't remember it. That's the other 5. That's going right in the freezer. My kid reached over and took my tuna sushi off my plate. Smart kid. Smart kid. We love sushi. We have a sushi maker. We haven't really successfully made sushi yet, but that is something we're going to start doing. All right. I think we're going to make this week, this is our shark. That's a nice video out there too. These are sand shark or dogfish shark. I got them spiced up and vacuum sealed and frozen. So we're going to pull these out soon and cook those guys right on the grill. Staked up. Make sure this is going to shut. That's it. Now I got to go clean up the mess like it didn't happen. So a guy who uses Ziplocs to vacuum seal, cuts the zip off. These are thick. A lot of the vacuum seal bags that you buy, and this isn't a commercial for out of air or anything, but these are 4 millimeter thick. So they are super thick. You get what you pay for. Let me just tell you that. And that's, you see all these commercials out there for bags, and then people are like, oh, they ripped. These will not rip. They're 4 milliliters thick. They're the easily rippable stuff by hand when you want to rip them. But this is really good stuff. I've done snow crabs with these. I've done all kinds of clawy things like lobsters, and they don't come through that. So it's good stuff. It's microwavable. You can boil in it. So no BPAs. It's good stuff. So I'm going to get out of here. Don't think there's anything else worth showing you right now. It's now pouring rain. There goes my cat freaking out. Yeah, I don't know if Nolan went live. Mission Discover might be live on that mission. But my boys will be home in like an hour and a half. So I got some work to do here. Pre-made. Yeah, there you can see my messy table. They come in 3 different sizes, but I also have like the 200-foot roll. That's cheaper as well. I just like the pre-made ones seem to work. Like they're very convenient. So I just grab those. And for me, if they're a little too big, that's fine because I do reuse them. I wash them out and reuse them. So I don't worry about it being just the perfect size. Let us hang out. My pleasure, main girl. Hunting Hound. Jim Peacock, everybody. I'm going to shut this thing down. If you haven't hit the thumbs up, please hit that before on your way out the door. Wild Japan dropped the video. I'll go check that out right now, Wild Japan. Catch y'all on the next one. Tomorrow night, we might pop up on the member side of things today and tomorrow morning, but the next public live will be tomorrow night at 6 p.m. down in the city for giant flatheads. Catch you on the next one. Peace.